All right, welcome back everybody for part 2 of the 1981 Fleer box break. On the first pulls, we got Reggie Jackson, Pete Rose, Ozzie Smith. We got some really decent cards. We still haven't pulled a Fernando yet. That's the card right now. Looking forward. Danny Ainge. Oh, another Twins. Willie Aikens. Wayne Nordhagen. Dave Revering, Mark the Birdman Fidrich, Pete Lecoq, Francisco Barrios, Mitchell Page, Dave Kingman, Bob Nepper, Bruce Bocci, Ivan DeJesus, Dave Parker, Bill Campbell, Brian Downing, Al Oliver, and Jim Barr. Those are a lot. We see a lot of the same names. We're not getting duplicates of the bigger names. Those are the ones we're looking for. Gives us a better chance to send them off to PSA and get good grades, hopefully. Lance Parrish, Carlton Fisk, Steve McCaddy, Al Collins, Butch Hobson, Carney Lansford, Jim Latine, Mike Torres, Jim Burrows, Sylvia Martinez, Rodney Scott, Jerry Royster, Bert Hooton, Woody Fryman, Bill Nordney, Jerry Roos, and Alex Trevino. Come on, let's get some big names. Big names, no whammies. And looks like we're getting some duplicates already. Wayne Nordhagen, Dave Rivering, Pete Lecoq, Francisco Barrios, Mitchell Page. We just had this pack. Mark Fidrich, Jim Morrison, Orlando Gonzalez, Dave Meyer, Ken O'Beckerfell, Grant Jackson, Leon Roberts, Bob Forsch, Larry Parrish, Kim Allen, Terry Kennedy, Bill Gullickson. All right, Champ Summers. That white powder off of the 1980s cards. Not cocaine. Freddie Lynn, Matt Keogh, Rick Peters, Dennis Eckersley, Bobby Grinch, Jack Morris, Dwight Evans, Harry Spillman, Ted Cox, Tony Scott, Mario Soto, Dave Roberts, Jim Cott, Andre Dawson, Larry Milbourne, and Leon Durham. Let's go Fernando. Richard Wortham, Tony Armas, John Lowenstein. There's another Ricky, most stolen bases. We will take it. Brian Kingman, Alan Trammell, Rich Dodson, Mickey Klutz, Larry Hernan, Jeff Leonard, Tim Flannery, Dave Concepcion, Joe Necro, Eric Rasmussen, Frank Pastor, Rodney Craig, Gary Lucas. That next Ricky, it does have some nice sound. We may be sending that off to PSA. That is pack fresh. Jerry Martin, Greg Minton, Rafael Lendestoy, Randy Martz, Ken Tukleby, Ken Forsch, Lynn McGoffin, Don Robinson, Roy Howell, Larry Hizzle, John Butcher, Al Woods, Phil Travers, Louis Tiant, Mike Willis, Jim Slayton, and Craig Nettles. Nice looking card. Junior Kennedy. Nice pose. Very classic. Juan Beniquez. Luis Salazar. Charlie Liebert. Julio Cruz. Ken Reitz. Doug Bear. Most hits, Steve Garvey, National League. You've earned a spot. Joe Rudy. Mike Crawley. Mike Davis. Dickie Thon, Richie Zisk, Dwayne Murphy, Tom Donahue, Buddy Bell, and Jim Clancy. If you grew up in the wax period or the junk wax when I did, what was your favorite set? Actually, mine was the 1987 top set with the McGuire, the Canseco. Big fan of Don Mattingly. Joaquin Andujar, Jerry Martin, Greg Minton, Rafael Landestoy, Randy Martz. And we're starting to get some more duplicates again. Hopefully there's another Ricky, Ron Guidry, John Castino, Don Money, Bob Watson, Hoskin Powell, Dan Quisenberry, Oscar Gamble, Rick Sofield, Dave Clough. Not sure what we have to do to get a Fernando. But get a regular Steve Garvey would be nice too. Danny Ainge. Bob Sykes. Gary Carter. Rupert Jones. Pete Mackinnon. Marty Patton. Kevin Bell. Sal Butier from my Minnesota Twins. Willie Aikens. Rob Piccolo. Dave Rosima. Carl Yastrzemski. Yeah, we're going to put Carl up. I'm going to put Yaz up there. Frank LaCorte. Dennis Lamp. Dale Barra. Jim Anderson. Willie Hernandez. And Lee Lacey. All right, we got Mike Ivey, Pat Zachary, Bob Walk, Jim Wolford, Cesar Cedeno. Yeah, there's a lot of players that play for a long time. Greg Gross, Eddie Whitson, Joaquin Andujar, Mike Davis, Dickie Thon, Richie Zisk, Dwayne Murphy, Tom Donahue, Buddy Bell, Jim Clancy, Don Ace, and Pat Putnam. Still have quite a few packs to go. Hopefully, let's try and get a Fernando. Frank Tavares, Don Hood, Steve Benson, Joe Torre, Mike Schmidt, MVP. We'll throw you up there, Mike. Dave Palmer, Claudell Washington, Dave McBride, Bill Bowman, Ron Say, Gary Matthews, Davey Lopez, Jim Singleton, Ed Bosley, Billy Martin, Joe Rudy, and Mike Crawley. All right. First year of the Fleer Baseball. Too bad that gum isn't worth anything. God, powder's everywhere. Cecil Cooper, Danny Darwin, Jesse Jefferson, Robin Yount. There's another Reggie. We will take it. Centering on that one isn't the best either. It's like it's a little diagonal. Mario Mendoza, George Hendrick, Elias Sosa, Mickey Rivers, Tim Foley, Roderick Perkins, Dan Dreesen, Dusty Baker, Mike Armstrong, Joe Price, Robert Welch, and Rick Camp. If I could just get a nicely centered Ricky. Or Danny Ainge. Give me something here. John Matlock, Dave Stapleton, Jason Thompson, Fergie Jenkins, Bob Baylor, Fred Patek, Doc Medic, whoop, Dave Steeb, Milt Wilcox, there's a Jim Rice, Wayne Gross, Pat Underwood, Don Zimmer, nice, Rod Carew. That is a nice card. Former Twin, California Angel. Nice. Rod Carew. Richie Hebner, Steve Renko, and Dan Ford. We gotta pull Fernando out of here. Bake McBride. Wonder if he was born on 4/20. Nope, February 3rd. The first name like Bake. Mike Ivey, Pat Zachary, Bob Walk, Jim Wolford, other Cesar Cendeno, Greg Gross, Eddie Whitson, Jimmy Dwyer. There we go. There's a Danny Ainge. There we go. Very nice. We will take that and put him up front. Dick Drago, Garth Aurg, Paul Molitor, Rick Cerrone, Steve Braun, Larry Swanson. Starting to see some different cards, which is good. Good sign. We got Dave Collins, Dave Javillero, Barry Evans, Hector Cruz, Floyd Bannister, Ted Simmons, Todd Hume, Larry Cox, Rick Manning, Dennis Martinez, Steve Trout, Mike Norris. There's an Eddie Murray. Nice. Mike Squires, Jeff Newman, Steve Kemp, and Chet Lemon. Will this be the Fernando pack? We shall see. Elias Sosa, Frank Tavares, Don Hood, Steve Bonson, Joe Torre, another Mike Schmidt, Dave Palmer, Tadell Washington, Joel Youngblood, Ron Reed, Terry Whitfield, J.R. Richard, Mario Guerrero, Tom Brookins, Gary Hancock, Gary Bennell, Mark Wegner. That was not the pack we're looking for. There we go. Donnie Robinson, another Raleigh Fingers, Carlos Lozano, Steve Necrosia, Bill Fahey, Tom Seaver, John Candelaria, Steve Humphrey, Toby Hara, Dave Edwards, my Minnesota Twins, Rich Gale, Wayne Garland, Mike Flanagan, Clint Hurdle, Gary Alexander, Mark Berlinger, and Bob Malero. The cards really aren't too badly cut. I'm going to have to pull out my scale and see what we can get as far as the centering on some of these. Freddie Lynn, Matt Keogh, Rick Peters, Dennis Eckersley, Bobby Grinch, Jack Morris, Dwight Evans, Jim Fregosi, Sammy Stewart, Harold Baines. Throw him up there. Another Ricky Henderson. Nice. Does have, it looks like, I don't know if I can focus on that. Looks like there's a blemish on the bottom there. Darn it. Benny Ayala, Lamar Johnson, Bob Lacey, Spark Anderson, Bruce Kim, and Mike Heath. Boy, it's unfortunate when you see obvious blemishes on the cardboard. Might be able to take a soft cloth and see if that'll come off. I'm not sure if that's a stain or if it's a flaw. Jim Kern, Glenn Hoffman, Rick Miller, Pat Corrales, Bruce Kisson, Bump Willis, Damaso Garcia, Keith Hernandez, Ron LaFleur, Jim Garber, Donnie Sutton, Fred Norman, Louis Gomez, Bill Russell, John Stearns, and Biff, again, from Back to the Future. All right, we have Carlton Fisk, Steve McCaddy, Al Collins, Butch Hobson, Carly Lansford, Jim Latine, Mike Torres, Dave Frost, Tony Scott, Mario Soto, Dave Roberts, Jim Cott, Andre Dawson, Larry LeBourne, Lillian Durham, Dick Williams, and Bob Horner. Starting to see a pattern here. We have 3 packs to go. Let's go, Fernando. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe my channel for more baseball breaks and sports card content. Dave Revering, Pete Lecoq, Francisco Berrios, Mitchell Page, Mark the Birdman, Jim Morrison, Orlando Gonzalez, Lance Parrish, Tim Flannery, Dave Concepcion, Joe Necro, Eric Rasmussen, Frank Pastore, Rodney Craig, Greg Lucas, Harry Spillman, Ted Cox. So we haven't hit the Fernando yet. Really the last one. If I could get a Fernando out of here, I'd be very happy. With 2 packs to go. Let's go. Gary Carter, Rupert Jones, Pete McKinnon, Marty Patton, Kevin Bell, Sal Butera of my Minnesota Twins, Willie Aikens, Wayne Nordhagen, Tippy Martinez, Tony La Russa, Rick Langford, Nino Espinoza, Randy Moffett, Joe Sampito, Ozzie Smith, Larry Herdon, Jeff Leonard. All right, last pack. Let's go, Fernando. Will this be the pack? We have a Gary Gray on the back. No gum on the front. Okay, here we go. Dave Valero, Barry Evans, Hector Cruz, Floyd Bannister, Ted Simmons, Tom Hume. Now, these are some names we haven't seen yet, so hopefully Fernando might be in here. Bob Sykes. Turn it over. Daryl Jackson of my Minnesota Twins. Reedy Martin. Jack Brohammer. Steve Stone. Frank White. Joe Charbonneau. 3 cards to go. Scott McGregor. Ed Farmer. And, of course, Gary Gray. So, no Fernando in that box. But we did go through some of these good cards we got. We got the Nolan Ryan. We got 2 of the Ricky Hendersons. Harold Baines, the Danny Ainge, the Rod Carew, Reggie Jackson, Mike Schmidt, Yastrzemski, Steve Garvey, another Ricky. We got the Pete Rose, Steve Stone, another Harold Baines, another Ricky, Ozzie Smith, Dale Murphy, another Reggie Jackson, and Steve Carlton. So, no Fernando in that box, but we did get a lot of bigger names in there. So I can't complain. We'll go through. We'll see if I'll be sending any of these off to PSA to get graded. If anything, the Rickies, the Pete Rose, if it's even going to be worth it. Let me know down in the comments if there's a particular year that you would like to see me break, or a particular manufacturer, a particular sport. Please let me know so I know what to put in my content. Until next time, you guys have a great sports year.